I look at business as I look at life. You get out of it what you first put into it. And that's a big deal because you have to first put in. And I think that someone in business school or whatever looking to make a mark in the business world, it's not going to be, you're not going to leave your mark, and you're not going to really be a success if you are a great negotiator, so to speak, and you make this business deal in which the other guy's killed. We have a long-term approach. We want to make sure that when we make business deals, they are long-term deals with some degree of flexibility because market conditions change, either favorably or unfavorably. And you need to, rather than just change your partner or have it so that you mow this guy down, which is stupid, we look for long-term relationships.
He talks loud, but he also knows how to have great partnerships. That was Vince McMahon, of course, the founder of the WWE. Now, many of us would like to do a better job negotiating just like Vince, but we don't know how to do it. I'm joined again by Stephen Kelly, CEO of the Kelly Group, and Anthony Winnie St. John, president of Roundtable International, LLC. Two pros who've brokered some big-time deals and some very complicated ones, Stephen and Anthony. And I'd like now to talk about, Vince said, you both have said this, long-term is important. We need to make sure that we have winners on all sides of this and still come out a winner ourselves. It's possible, right?
It is possible. I've helped to create an alliance once of 3 hospital companies, not individual buildings, that were feuding amongst themselves and with the single insurer of the city. But because the CEOs hated each other, they refused to cooperate. And when they realized that the long-term cost to the community and to themselves as employers was going to be high if they didn't cooperate, they changed their way of dealing with each other, and we were able to help them negotiate a better way of reimbursing the insurer.
So it's important to have some type of mediation, especially if there's a lot of conflict there. If you can't find it within yourself, to make sure you're in a setting where there is fairness for everybody, including yourself, but also the people you're negotiating with. And this is also true, Stephen, in a situation where you're doing international deals, something you've done a lot of. Right. Tell me some of the skill sets you need if you're going to do a good international deal.
I think first of all you need to know the culture of the parties that you're involved with. The Japanese, the old story, they nod their head and smile and you think they're agreeing and they're just listening and saying, I hear you. Many cultures really want you to get to know them first. An American tends to jump in with both feet, whiz bang, let's do it and get it over with and move on. And it's not just, when I say international, we're a multicultural country. That can also mean people within your own organization and people that you're dealing with locally that have come from different cultures. So I'm a very strong believer in not only doing your homework as far as the details of the deal and the people you're dealing with, but it's really important to understand the culture that you're dealing with.
And that's an important point, that culture can be just a small mom and pop shop that has a diverse employee base.
Absolutely. I mean, it can be religious based, it can be ethnic based. I mean, they're just the part of the country they grew up in. They have different cultures and different ways of handling things.
And that whole different sense of culture does come into also the values people bring in to their deals. So there is a sensitivity you need to have of where your partner in that negotiating process, where their values are.
You see, for me, negotiation is communication. It's a specialized form of communication. And we know, as Steve reminded us, that people communicate differently from culture to culture. Understanding how other people talk to each other, what rules they use to determine how to share information, how they make decisions with each other. If that changes culturally and you try to negotiate with them, then you may have some interesting outcomes, some surprises.
Hey, can this be taught? Can great negotiating skills be taught, or do you think that you're born with it?
No, I think absolutely it can be taught. I think you have to learn. You don't just say, hey, let's sit down and talk our way through it without any forethought. I mean, that's the one extreme. The other extreme is you do your homework and you really think it through. And I know I sound repetitious with the homework, but I really believe that. And the cultural issues and the facts behind it, and really try to understand what the other party, what's in this for them and what's in this for you. And if you understand that, the chances of you both speaking the same language are much better.